All right, y'all, we are back with All the Queen's Men, Season 4, Episode 2, Careless Whispers. So, Madam walks in on Santiago. She sees her father, her daddy talking a lot of stuff. Go ahead and do what you need to do. At this point, it's too much talking for me. I just need everybody to do their perspective parts. So, he calls Madam an N-word in Spanish. And then he calls her a dog too. He told her she looked like a dog. And everybody just start to fall out. And she pulled out one of them little face mask things for her, Blue, of course, Tommy, and her dad. Whatever it was real potent because it knocked them out. And I guess at that time she got her dad, she was able to save her dad. So D.A. Roz is okay. We get back to D.A. Roz. D.A. Roz is okay. She calls Miss Tandy and tell her that someone tried to unalive her. And meanwhile, girl, Miss Tandy shaking like booty meat, girl. I was like, girl, what? As evil as you are, but okay. So D.A. Roz it was one of Madam's dancers. And once she tells Miss Tandy, once you become mayor, Madam has to go. So Miss Tandy asks the DA, how do you know it was Madam? Don't you have your own enemies? So D.A. Roz tells Tandy all of her enemies are put away except for Madam. She knows it was her. And Miss Tandy, sounding like an old slave girl, talk about don't go barking up the wrong tree. And I just didn't understand why the DA, everything else, but you didn't notice how weird Miss Tandy was acting. But Miss Tandy says she knows Madam to be a lot of things, but she's not a killer, And I was like, child, please. She definitely is that, but whatever to fix whatever situation you have going on. So Fuego is at home. He gets a knock on the door, and y'all, it's Sandra's dad. And y'all remember Sandra was Fuego's fiance, and when they thought Fuego was turning on them, they somehow got somebody to unalive his fiance while he was still laying in the bed with her, but he didn't hear or see nothing. So in that part, I kind of thought Sandra's dad was wired, but that's just my guesstimation. So we get down to the club, y'all, and Smoke walks in the club. He gets patted on by security, and security only found one thing on him. But the whole time, Smoke had his PSS gun, a stun gun, and zip ties in his pocket. Y'all, at this point, this security can go. He needs to be fired because obviously you're not checking these people as well as you should. And I sure hope Madam finds out because he needs to go and he can't fight. So Don walks up after he checks him. He was like, you can't go back there with none of that stuff. I have to take this stuff from you. And so Smoke punched him, and now he bleeding, and Smoke telling him how to deal with it. Talk about put your head up, put your nose on your head, put your head up. I was like, sir, why are you even security? But whatever. Don walks up asking, who are you? And he was like, I'm Smoke. And he was like, is Tommy here because they promised me a job? And she was like, Tommy ain't here. He was like, well, tell Tommy, Madam, I'm looking for him. And he leaves. And that was that on that. So we know that we are not going, this is not the last of us seeing Smoke. My prediction is that Smoke isn't going to be around long. He seemed reckless because, of course, in the last episode when he came down to the, I don't think it was a burial site. I just think it's a place where Tommy go to bury the bodies. Tommy asked him, how did you get out of that place? So we know he was in a psych ward, and of course he had to play along the part just to get out. So Yeah, he crazy. He do some crazy stuff, but he gonna be too much of a problem. He may not be, but to me, I feel like he gonna be too much of a problem. So then we go back to Mexico where Santiago wakes up and he realized that he's tied up and Madam is getting ready to torture him as she do. So we see her sharpening this big long piece of wood. She have a point. It's a point, a point. She's sharpening it really, really well, enough to torture. And so we get back to the club where Big D walks in with a bag for Dime. He got her a gift. I thought it was shoes, but it ended up being a foot warmer because she mentioned when she was sitting there eating with him how wearing heels 7 days a week, however many hours a day, hurts her feet. And child, Big D and Amp is really after Dime. Let me say this. Dime is a beautiful woman. I just think that she's doing herself a disservice by messing with the men that you work with. And not only are you messing with one, you're messing with both. So whatever. So I was just thinking Dime was getting caught up, and I mean, I thought she was gonna get caught up. I thought somebody was actually gonna walk in on them. So her and Big D in the middle of the stage about to tussle, and I was like, "Oh, girl, you bold! Like you a bold one." So Big D did all of that, and he was done in 30 seconds. I said, "Oh my Lord, say it ain't so." He said, "I was just so excited and You made an attempt. You attempted not to do well, and that is it. And not only that, the condom broke." Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the condom broke. I was like, oh, okay. So she said she was on a pill. So I don't know. So we're back at Miss Tandy's we back with Miss Tandy where she's still shaking like booty meat. And then we get back to the club with Diamond Big D, and it's just a back and forth about what just happened. And that's when she disclosed that she's on a pill, and he was like, "Oh my God," he says he's not ready for kids. She says she doesn't want any, so it was just all of that stuff still hanging out. Child, did y'all see that? I almost forgot about that, but I saw it and I was like, I ain't got my glasses with me. Y'all left my glasses at my cousin's house. I saw that. Anyway, we go back to the police station. Detective Davis and DA Rod, and they still think that Madam did this drive-by. Girl, it was not. It was Miss Tandy, and I just don't trust her. I never did. So we get back to Mexico where Madam tells Santiago it was his son-in-law, because y'all, that stick that she had that she was sharpening, he was hanging off that. It was in his body, like it went through his body, and he was just hanging off of it. Lord Jesus. It was his son-in-law who sold him out, and Santiago told her it was concierge who delivered her father to him. And at this point, y'all, Madam is fuming. So Miss Tandy invites D.A. Rod over to her house, was talking to her about she's still acting like she's scared, and D.A. Rod is talking about what happened and how somebody tried to get her, and I was just like, girl. And so she, Tandy gets up and gets her something to drink. She pulls the gun out while the DA back was turned. And then she just went ahead, put the gun up, got her a glass of champagne or wine or something. I don't know. But Miss Tandy is on BS. That's all. I just, ugh. Anyway, we get to Midnight's house. And he's reaching souls, y'all. Happy place. That's my happy place. And Renee is her name. So he was giving Renee a massage for services rendered. And it was actually just a massage. And he massaged her. Okay? And I was like, why I signed up for one of them, man? You know, I just... Okay. We get back to Miss Tandy's house. And she's still there acting nervous, just being retarded at this time. So we get back to the club. The club is full, and you know, Diamond's at the DJ booth, and Big D come, and she's mad at him for being a quick pumper. She's saying what they did was a mistake, and I was like, but ma'am, you make stupid decisions. And so I'm over that. And so we get into the locker room, and Midnight asks Doc, did he find that shirt? And he tells Midnight no, and told him that Detective Davis has that shirt. Midnight once again tells him to tell Madam because he's holding off. And we know if Madam don't know what's going on, you already know what she gonna do to Doc. She like Doc, but she ain't got no problem with doxing him, okay? So Amp goes up to Big D and apologizes, of course. And then Big D has to take it to a whole nother level of brotherly love. And Amp was like, listen, I'm only apologizing because my sponsor told me to, and I really just don't like your goofy tail self. And he walks off. And hey, that's all we can ask for Amp right now. Baby steps. So Fuego says, speaking of the girls, has anybody seen Trouble? Whoa. Trouble ain't no girl, okay? That was funny to me. So Midnight says he wouldn't think about girls when he think about Trouble. And he said Fuego is right. We haven't seen her since. And so because you know she's always somewhere snooping, or she just always somewhere trying to get in a VIP with the guys, and you know, and Doc was like, maybe something is going on, but it ain't got nothing to do with us. So Blue asked Madam, does she want to rest? And Madam, of course, was like, no, I'm good, you know. And so we get where Doc comes up, opens Madam's door, walk in her office, and tells her about Tina's shirt is missing, and tells her that what's her name, that Detective Davis stole it. So Madam was like, she actually clocked him and was like, so when I told you to stop messing with her, you still continued to mess with her. And so Doc was like, yeah. He was like, Madam, I'm sorry. She was like, yeah, you are sorry. And I was like, wait a minute, Madam. First of all, don't talk to my man like that, please, ma'am, please, because y'all know I can't fight. Don't talk to my man like that. But we got to clock it. He was still being reckless. And I want to say this. I do think that he was feeling her in some ways. He was. So again, he was giving, you know, he apologized to Madam, but y'all know if it was me, all he had to do was say and I was like, baby, all is well, cause you my boo, okay? You was my boo. So Doc asked Madam, "Is there if there's something that he can do to help the situation?" And she was like, "Sir, no, you done enough. Go on back down there. Go make my money. Just go." So Blue goes down to that basement area and bring Trouble some food, and Trouble still running her mouth like she just have not learned. Blue really be trying to help her, but she don't listen. But I will say this season, I think that Trouble will be around, but I think she will wisen up more and understand why these men are very loyal to Madam, and she'll begin to fall in line. So Madam keeps getting a phone call from a blocked number, and then Carla in her attitude walks in. Carla get on my nerves, y'all. Y'all know that's Ronnie from the Players Club. Girl, you gotta use what you got to get what you want. That Ronnie. And so Madam was like, "So you keep calling me from this block number?" And she was like, "No, I'm getting calls from that same block number as well." And so she actually just came in to ask her if she's handled that situation with Trouble and Champ from stealing from whomever it was. And let me say this. I do not trust Carla as far as I can throw her. Okay? And that's all I wanted to say. So, back at the club, the woman who had got that massage from Midnight, she was back at the club, and so he took her to VIP. But we ain't getting nothing else. They went to VIP. She is a beautiful lady. Okay? Beautiful lady. Anyway, Madam Blue and Tommy is down in the basement with Trouble, and she throws Champ under the bus. Madam decides when they got back upstairs, the way she's gonna handle this situation with them two, she's gonna let both of them decide whose fate is in whose hands. So whatever happens. She don't have to get her hands dirty, and it won't fall on her. So Dime leaves. It's almost the end of the night. Y'all know the dudes tip Dime out. They tip Dime out, and no, I'm sorry. It's amateur night, and oh wait, no. My bad, y'all. So Dime goes to her car, and the dude from amateur night who did not win. She did embarrass him on the stage. He, kind of pull up on her, checking her outside the club. And Amp, a lot of times, if y'all didn't know, the guys always make sure Dime gets in her car, make sure she's safe, make sure she's good. It's not one man. The men that eat in those group of men would never not make sure Dime is not okay. So he starts to grab Dime, and and so Amp came from out of nowhere, hit him with a 1-2, hit him in the face, and then he hit the ground, and that was that on that. So Miss Tandy walks in the living room, sits on the couch next to Babyface, and asks him to unalive D.A. Rod. And Babyface say, "No ma'am, no Pam, you better get somebody else to do it." And so she was like, "Well, can you talk to Madam for me?" Trying to sweet talk him and all of that. So he was like, "I'm not getting in the middle of that. That's on you. I don't know what's going on." So then she pleads, and I don't like Miss Tandy, okay? And so he was like, "All right, I'll talk to Madam for you, see what we can do." And so she got this grin on her face. And she was like, "That was easy." And I was like, "Girl, So y'all, we get back to Madam's house, and Tommy's there rubbing her feet, and Tommy was like, "Madam, can I suck your toes?" She was like, "No, just rub my feet." She tells Tommy to contact Smoke and introduce him to Concierge, and Tommy asks, did he make I forgot what time it said. Y'all wrote this down in my notes. It's just all over the place. So at this point, she wants Smoke to take out Concierge. And we just really need to see how that's gonna go. I want to think that Concierge sent Smoke. I just to kind of keep up what's going on with her. Anyway, this where this episode ends. I want to say next week the new episode is gonna come out. I don't know when, but when it comes out, I'm gonna review it. And before y'all creep on out of here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will hit y'all in the next video.